Real Madrid have finally uncovered what the problem is in their system, and I'm honestly scared about it. I had even made a lot of videos talking about this specific problem and how Real Madrid were focusing way too much on other issues like on their attacking force, on their defense force, but the main issue was actually the midfield. At the moment, sure, granted, they have Jude Bellingham, they have Arda Güler, they have Tchouaméni, they have Camavinga, they have Ceballos, but none of them are natural midfielders that can actually control the match. The only natural midfielder that I can think about is Ceballos, but come on, Real Madrid dealing with Ceballos in the midfield to control the games for them is simply not going to fix their issues. They need a strong midfielder, and Florentino Perez has now finally identified what this issue is, and now he's seeking to inquire about possibly bringing in a strong midfielder in the summer. Some of the options are obvious. Vitinha from PSG, one of the best midfielders in the world right now. Even me as a Barcelona fan, I'll say it. Sure, there's been a lot of competition with him and Pedri. That's a separate conversation, but Vitinha currently is a player that can dominate that midfield and fix these issues for Real Madrid. I think he's the main candidate, but there are other options, like for example Zubimendi from Arsenal, though this one seems a little bit unlikely because he just joined Arsenal from Real Sociedad in the past summer, so this one seems out of reach right now. There's also other options, like for example Keith Smith, but this one is still a little bit complicated because he's only 19 years of age, pushing 20. I think that he's still way too young to have that role, that leadership in Real Madrid, to be the main man in the midfield as Toni Kroos and Modric were. I think that would be a huge pressure that they would be putting in on the youngster. I think that they need to buy somebody with that experience already that can be able to deal with the pressure, somebody who's, you know, used to the level. And there may be other options, but these are the top 3 ones that I've heard of. Drop a follow and let me know what you think.
Okay, so I don't understand why people don't talk about this. This man played professional for over 20 years and never once tore his ACL. And that is considering the fact that Lionel Messi was probably kicked way more than any player in the old prime, way more than any Real Madrid player, way more than Cristiano Ronaldo, even than Neymar himself, who was constantly kicked every single game. Lionel Messi received some of the harshest tackles that we will ever see. I mean, career-ending tackles, but somehow he never once tore an ACL, never even got an injury, picked up an injury to the point where he was out for months. However, I do remember in the Champions League against Benfica 2013, he did get injured after the goalkeeper tried getting the ball away from him, and he was out for some time. But apart from that, there wasn't really any other occasion where Lionel Messi was out for maybe 2 months at most. And keep this in mind, that season Lionel Messi still won the Pichichi with 46 goals compared to Ronaldo's 34 goals, having been played over 6 matches less in La Liga, by the way. But again, to bring us back to this point, the fact that this man never once tore his ACL to the point where he was out for a whole season is just bewildering. All you have to do is go on YouTube and look up some of the worst tackles committed against Messi, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I mean, I can think about so many. Against Paraguay with Argentina, against Atletico de Madrid with Barcelona, multiple occasions against Real Madrid, specifically against Sergio Ramos and Pepe, even Marcelo, Casemiro, and many, many more. Honestly, when Messi retires from football, his body should be studied. Like, we should understand what it is about this man's body that is just so elastic. My goodness.